This podcast is meant for mature audiences only and contains strong sexual language. Welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience with your hosts, Miss Kiki Love and Miss Neshab of Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. We're just two dope sisters who love to talk about sex and give our amazing guests a platform to share their experiences and expertise as it pertains to sex, love, and the Black experience. So let's get started. Welcome to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast with the Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses. My name is Miss Neshab and
Miss Kiki Love.
And before we bring our guest on this week, we always start off with our therapy session. So, Miss Kiki, what do you have that you want to just get off of your chest today?
We want to highlight our trip to Tucson last weekend.
Yes.
It was so amazing. It was Sex by Southwest Love Fest, and we were one of many presenters at the Love Fest, and we talked about our favorite thing, sex toys.
Woo! Yes, we did.
We had a packed class.
We did.
Packed class.
Nice
it was
size.
almost over 30 people, and
It was well over that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and everybody loved our class, even though you were very sicky that weekend.
Yeah. And I feel so bad because I got my sister sick, so I'm so sorry about that, sweetie.
Yeah, I went on when we came back. I knew I was sick, and I was like, oh no. So I was trying to get that broom brush tea. Shout out to Sister Denise and her amazing tea. Broom brush. It fights off anything that ails you. K healing tea. So as soon as I came in the house, I took off all my clothes, took a shower, and started drinking the tea. But nope. No, it wanted to just be an asshole, and I've been sick all week, fighting off all the little germies from the weekend because there were so many people hugging on us and loving on us, and it was just, but it was really, really good. We had an amazing time.
Met some amazing
We did.
Black sex positive
Yes.
speakers. It was very diverse. That was the thing that I loved about it. And it was also, it gave me a different perspective of Tucson.
Yes.
I realized that Tucson is very, it's a lot more liberal than the conservative Phoenix.
Yeah.
This was
it was a poly event for those who don't know what Sex by Southwest is.
No, it's a Southwest Love Fest. We did
Southwest Love Fest.
Yeah.
And so, if for those who don't know what it is a polyamorous group, community, organization, and they bring different presenters and speakers to their event. And shout outs to Sarah and Katie for putting on this event.
Yes.
They do it themselves, y'all. And they have a little mini team of people. And yet, like, when I tell you, it was just awesome. They even got, like, I requested a very special chair. They got a chair that I wanted. It was great. I was comfortable. You were comfortable. They made sure that, all of our needs were met.
Yeah. So we presented on sex toys for solo, couples, and group play. And so we'll probably we'll probably either take the recording of it and put it
on our Patreon.
On a Patreon, yeah. So people can check that out. But we also attended some amazing workshops. What were
We
some of the
did.
workshops that you attended that you liked?
All the black ones. all the black ones.
Any stood out for you?
Miss K. Shout out to Miss K.
Yeah.
Our newest friend, you know. As soon as she came on the roster, I knew I was like, yeah, I'm going to be her friend. I'm going to make her be my friend. And she came up on Friday morning. She sat right, and I was like, Miss K, you're a legend. She was like, stop it. So she was more excited to see us than, you know. So she was like, yeah, let's exchange. I was like, you want my number? Oh my God. It was great. No, shout outs to Intimacy.
Yes.
Yeah, like all of the black and brown presenters that were at the conference. Shout outs to all y'all. Y'all did amazing.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yes.
Made some really amazing connections.
Yes.
Learned a lot.
Yes.
Just love the fact that people are open to share. This event was no, it was around poly, but it was also very queer friendly.
Yes.
So you know, they really emphasized the pronouns and just making, and also creating safe spaces for people. I know there were a couple of incidents where some people made some spaces feel very unsafe, and just
we was in the room when this happened.
I was sick. I went to bed.
Listen, we was not. Once I put that bonnet on, I was not fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you didn't want to fuck around and find out.
No, because they was like, "You coming to the snuggles?" I said, "Absolutely."
Right?
Not.
Yeah, they had a cuddle.
Snuggle cuddle.
They had a cuddle party.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
But I'm gonna tell you, one of the classes that I attended that was pretty good. It was how to throw like a kick-ass sex party that would attract the neurodivergent and the demisexual. So I had to look up neurodivergent and demisexual.
All these big ass words.
Neurodivergent is like people who think differently. Like if you're in the spectrum,
right,
or you have ADHD, it's like, how do you create a sex party for that will attract people who just think differently. Right. And demisexual are people who they can't really have a sexual connection with you unless until they have an emotional connection or bond with you. Well, at a sex party, that's really hard to do. Like, how do you create a sexual bond? You know, when you go to sex parties,
when
it's
you're
really
demisexual.
Right. It's when you go to sex parties, it's just like, ooh, I like him, I want to, you know, let's hook up, or, you know, that whole type of thing. And if you have to make an emotional connection first, how do you do that? Right. Typically, a lot of parties don't do that. Right. And so basically what she did was she threw her on for her birthday. Yeah. And
shout out to Jessica for that.
Yes.
Throw some bombs for Jessica. Yeah, we like
and it was you know what it did? It reaffirmed what we talked about when we want to do our party. Yes. That it's about connections. Yeah. Making people feel safe.
Just so you know, public service announcement. I ain't gonna have my ass in there. Don't ask me to throw it back in a circle. I'm just watching all the fuck shit happen.
We gonna probably be so busy working because you have to assign people in different. You know, everybody can't participate. I don't know what my role is going to be, but it just reaffirmed all the things that I had in my head, and you know, after going to a couple of like lifestyle events, realizing like I kind of want to do a little something different. We want to do a little something different that connects people, because again, we are about safe spaces and making people feel comfortable. And so how do you make an environment that all different types of people can feel comfortable? So that for me, that was great. And then we got a shout out to Shanae. Yes. She was the very first one that we went to. And incredible speaker. Follow her as Shanae Speaks. Yes. And she did a workshop on intentional polyamory. Yes. Which was amazing. So it just felt good to meet a lot of different people.
Yes. Oh, shout out to Zach too, cause yeah, Zach. He talked about therapy. So he is a licensed social worker, and he talked about therapy and all that good stuff because as sex educators, um, sometimes people dump a lot of shit on us. They dump their shit. And so we don't sometimes have somewhere to dump our shit. So we all have to have um a place to dump your shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when I tell you I tried to go to all of the um black and brown folks' workshops and support all the black folks.
Some of them were it was a conflict, so it was a
It
cool
was
thing that we were a
hard.
team, so we got to
Right.
split it up. Like, you take this class,
Right.
I take this one, because shout out to Mughal Macabre.
Yes.
She did a class on managing jealousy.
Yes.
That was a great class.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that came out about it was, see, here's the thing. A lot of people think in polyamory, oh, because there's jealousy, it'll never work. Well, there's
Right.
jealousy, period. We're just
Right.
human. You're going to have jealousy in any
Kind of
relationship.
Right.
It's just a matter of managing it.
Right.
But somebody had brought up, what about jealousy of your partner? Like, if you guys decide to date other people and they're constantly getting dates and you don't, like, we always think about jealousy of your partner dating other people and being jealous of that person, but you don't think about jealousy within the relationship when they're
Right.
dating. So that was like really enlightening. It was it was amazing conversations. What I got overall is that in polyamory, it's really about self-management, focusing on self, and then communication, which, whether you poly or monogamy or whatever, I think you can use all of that and be intentional, period, in any relationship. And that's not even just romantic relationships.
Right.
In all your relationships.
Right. People don't understand when it comes to non-ethical, non-monogamy relationships. People don't understand that are monogamous, right? They don't understand how much communication that you have to do in order to do this work. There's too much goddamn communication sometimes. You
checking in. What was the thing all the time? Make sure you check in. Check in.
When you have a primary, right? When you have a primary partner, and I tell people, and so I was very open and honest in telling people that I am polygynous, and people didn't even know what that was. So we were at a poly conference, and people didn't know that there were other types of polyamory, right. out there. And so I was explaining to people I am polygynous, right? So I want a husband and I want a wife,
a sister wife,
right? Yeah. And so they were like, "Oh, that's different." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to be."
But nuclear. It's not. It is, but it's not, because I think the way Shanae explained it, like, you have to be when you're talking about intentional, it takes a village, and it's like a whole, just like, you can have non-romantic partners still in your, in your polyamory circle. Right. So it really isn't that different. I just think a lot of people sometimes
there's different sets.
Yeah.
And I try to explain that to people when you're talking about the P, right? Mm-hmm. There's different sets. So there's polyamory, there's polygyny, there's polyandry. So there's all these different types. And like I said, the beautiful thing about all these different relationships is that communication. We talk too damn much. We have to be, if we're going to explore and be outside of the monogamous, world, you have to talk. And I tell monogamous people all the time,
they have to talk too.
Yeah, but they don't.
Right.
They don't. So we talk all the fucking time.
Right.
We talk too much when it comes to these types of relationships, being outside of man and wife, right? That typical Christianity type of sphere, right?
Right.
So people don't understand that we've been doing this for for a long time. And shout outs to, what was that sister's name who did the ancient,
the history.
Yeah, beautiful class. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but shout outs to her because it was very intentional. Like, she was like, listen, we've been doing this work for a long time.
Yeah.
The history.
Polyamory has been around for a very long time. Ethical non-monogamy has been around for a long time. Yeah.
So it was just a beautiful, beautiful scene. We loved everybody that came to our class. We loved everything that was
it was amazing.
amazing.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
We met people. Those connections are never going to go away.
Right.
And we just feel blessed to continue to grow our circle. And speaking of communication,
yes,
I just want to take this time. When you get sick sometimes, well, for me, I go in and out of depression sometimes. So I'm really being transparent when this is a therapy session. And sometimes when I get stuck in the house or I'm sick, or what, or even sometimes I could be in a great mood and it just triggers depression. So I just want to shout out, when we talk about communication and your circle, I want to shout out to my business lover, Kiki, for just being very supportive. And I want to shout out to my husband because he made me realize that, I've gone through depression for years, many, many years as a single person. And he just made me realize that I'm not alone and he's there for me. And that really meant a lot. And shout out to our circle, because I've talked to some of my friends and they've just been like checking in on me, making sure that I'm okay. And because I can retreat and I don't want to be bothered. And so again, all of that is important. All of that is so important. And I just appreciate my circle. It's very important to have a great circle of people. And so that's just all I wanted to say. Anything else you want to say, sis?
Listen, ho. You know you got a friend in me. Don't play with me.
I feel like we should be playing that Toy Story song. You
got a friend in me. But I ain't getting in trouble with Pixar, you know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got no money.
Right.
So, we don't have no money. We don't want no smoke from Pixar over there in Emeryville. Shout out to Emeryville. Yeah. The Bay Area. That's where Pixar is located, for those who don't know. But yeah, no, we ain't got no money. So Pixar, don't come for us. Don't come for our pocketbook. We ain't got no money. But we about to wrap up, y'all, this therapy session.
Yes.
We just again wants to say thank you so much to Southwest Love Fest for giving our raggedy black asses the opportunity of a lifetime to present and give the people what they've been asking for. And
just sharpen our
skills. Correct, because the more you learn, right.
And if anybody has any workshops or anything, reach out to us. We can put together workshops. Our expertise is sex toys.
Yes. That's what we love to talk about.
We can talk about sex toys all day long. So and sex positions.
Yes. I mean, we put a little video of Kesha doing her amazing work on the Play With Me straps and our sex swing, and people loved it because Kesha is a plus size person and she be moving.
She's very flexible.
Man.
But that's why I'm going to, I love the sex position straps, but I realized that I need to start using them more for stretching.
Right.
So yeah, definitely. But we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will have our special guest on. So you guys just hold on and tune in. Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses is just a dynamic duo, two sisters that we came together, and we're just creating safe spaces to talk about sex, sexual health, and wellness.
I'm more of the fun, goofy one who makes people laugh, and she's more serious at times, but she's also very playful, and that's what makes us very unique as business partners.
Fun, but education. So we want, it's easy to sit and lecture about sex. Okay, today we're going to talk about this topic when it comes to sex. But we wanted to bring it in a more fun and inclusive and just sexy environment.
Working with a super producer, Fleek Sauce, and the team has been absolutely incredible. The amount of detail and the effort that you guys put into what you guys do is just extraordinary.
It's working with Fleek Sauce at Marmira Creative feel like it's leveled up our business. Even when we do our podcast and we bring guests on, they are absolutely amazed. Like, this is a great studio to work in. They are amazed at how professional it is. And and also just the learning, the training that we're getting from working with Fleek Sauce and at Marmira Creative is, I just feel like it just leveled us up. That's what I would say.
It takes a team, right? It takes a team to build a vision. And we're just so appreciative for you guys working with us and believing in our dream and believing in our vision. That's it. I mean, I got all cute for that.
We are Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses, where we make sex education and discovery fun for the BIPOC community. Join us on all social media platforms as we have amazing events coming your way.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sex, Love, and the Black Experience. And I have the honor and privilege of I'm trying not to get emotional when speaking about this amazing woman. I've been following her for I want to say 5 years now, almost 6 years, and she's my friend in real life. Like, she's my friend in real life, and soon about to be Dr. Yes.
Yay! Shout out! Wait
so
we
gonna say it already in the atmosphere. Dr. Renelle. Yeah, I'm excited to have her on this podcast, and so we are just excited to have you on. Truly an icon and an amazing sex therapist here in the city of Phoenix. So, yeah, Dr. Renelle, everybody, let's go.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Renelle, well, I love it. Renelle E. Nelson, Noir sex therapist. Yes. And I was like, okay, we putting a little French on it. I love it. So welcome. I know we've met in passing, but I'm so excited to actually get the chance to talk with you and just ask you some questions, kind of pick your brain. I am really excited that you're local to the Phoenix area because, a lot of people think they have to go outside of Phoenix to find some amazing Black, people who are people of color who are who can relate and who can counsel them in relation to sex and pleasure and relationships and infidelity, recovery, all of those amazing things that I had a chance to kind of research and look and see what it is that you do. So really excited to talk to you, pick your brain on a couple of things, and also give you a platform to just share with people, what your expertise is, what it is that you do. And when people come to seek your guidance, how do you direct them? How do you help them with their relationships? So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you both for having me. I'm excited.
So do you want to just kind of tell our audience a little bit about who you are, what your expertise is, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay, so yes, I am Renelle E. Nelson. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I specialize in infidelity and intimacy recovery. I am a certified sex therapist, and I've been doing therapy over 12 years now.
Awesome. Awesome. Has it been all here in Arizona, or how long have you been
No,
in the Arizona area?
I only been in Arizona for 5 years. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay. Midwest. All right. I'm from Detroit. So shout out that
Yeah.
Midwest love. Awesome. So what brought you here to Arizona?
Just a change of scenery,
Okay.
a change of weather. I'm just trying to do something different.
Awesome. Awesome. And when you came here, in terms of, you know, different environment, different community, how has that impacted your practice?
It's impacted a good way. One thing, my practice, I was very eclectic. All kinks and conversations welcome in Wisconsin. So moving to Arizona, I just kept that same energy, and
Hmm.
I was welcome. I'm welcome. I do have a very diverse practice. So I'm excited about that. So being in office and virtual still allows me to reach people in Wisconsin and in Arizona, and sometimes just areas that they don't want to drive, because I am in the East Valley. So
Right.
being virtual make me just be able to reach out and touch everybody who wants to get the healing.
I know this technology has been amazing. I'm sure it's
Right.
probably, especially during the pandemic.
The Panorama
I wonder during the
Express.
pandemic,
Yes.
especially, you know, when people had to be stuck together,
Mm-hmm.
relationship was like, I can't run away from this motherfucker. Excuse my
Right.
language.
Right. In the
So,
house.
um, you know, it's like Renelle fixed my life.
Pretty much.
Did you find during that time period that you had to do a lot more um, counseling for people because of the whole pandemic and people being stuck together and having to like force themselves to work through those situations?
I think it allowed people to take the time. It was a
Hmm.
consent to take the time to do it,
Right.
because I always been virtual before the pandemic. I
Hmm.
say that I would see the same flow, but I seen more of the flow locally. Just because people can't get out, and living in Arizona is just traffic. So a lot of
Hmm.
people like it. It was convenient. The topics that I talk about are chaos. So it's nice to be in a safe environment at their home and be able to talk together. So I think that it was a good improvement,
Hmm.
but a lot of the people probably would be. I didn't see a big difference of coming in, but I did see a difference. I can't say a big difference, but it was a difference.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the chaos? What you mean by that?
Chaos. I talk about the shit nobody want to talk about. I talk about the shit
Hello.
that you have in your head. I talk about the shit that you secret about, that you whisper to your girlfriend. I talk about the hard stuff. I talk
Hmm.
about betrayal. I talk about infidelity. I talk about sex. I talk about pleasure. I talk about sexual dysfunctions. I talk about kink. I talk about a lot of stuff that's not forthright. So I just say it's a chaos.
Yeah. Okay. No, no, that's important, especially in relationships. I think a lot of times people are not, um, first of all, about being honest with yourself. Do you agree? Do
Right.
you find out, Renelle, that a lot of people are not even being honest with their own pleasure and what they
Yeah,
want out of life and out of
yeah.
their relationship?
Yep, I deal with a lot of that. Even though I do a lot of couples, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my work is still individual when it's with couples, because it's two people that make up the foundation.
Right.
Right.
Couples have a lot of baggage, projection, expectations, assumptions, um, and societal narratives and generational narratives that they bring in a relationship. And sometimes you have to see your own narrative and how to co-create with your partner. And if you don't, this is when all the chaos and misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and that toxic love come in at.
Right.
Mm,
Right. Yeah.
that's good.
So, did you have any questions?
Yeah. So you talk about kink a lot on your Instagram, Queen. You talk about a lot of kinks. I'm gonna get into your personals, right? Just a little bit, just a ski test. What
Mhm.
are some of your favorite kinks that you like?
You know what? Star's favorite kink, I just like the exploration, and I just like to talk about it. I like the kink of talking about the forbidden. You know, what
Ooh,
would you
okay.
do? What did you happen? I'm really into talking about fantasies and just discussing stuff because fantasies are just discussed. They don't have to be carried out. So
Mm-hmm.
making sure that my relationship have a safe space to be able to talk about attraction to others and
Mm,
what would you do and what would happen if because stuff breeds in the darkness. So
right.
having
Right.
that in my relationship that we talk like, hey, they look good. What would you do with them? Hey, what about that? So that's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily a kink, but that's something that's not really in a relationship. So I would just start kink. My kink is just an exploration of stuff non-traditional. I would just
Yes.
Mm,
say that it just being an exploration because right now, you know, you just don't want to pinpoint. I like to get choked. I like to get this. I like to get that because sometimes that pigeonholes you. And just like
Right.
I like the explorations. Like today, I want to try this. Tomorrow, I might not like it, but let's try something different. So
Right.
I like to say, put a little spin on and say the kink of exploration of stuff that we would normally do or the stuff that we only think about.
and I have one more question as far
Okay.
as kink. Who is your favorite kinkster in the world of what we do, right? In the black space, right? In that black space, who is one of your favorite professional
Ooh,
sex workers? Yeah,
that's
I'm putting you out there. I'm calling
I
shots.
don't. You know what? It's so many.
Yeah.
It is so many. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I like Marla. You know,
Okay.
I like a
Mm.
Yes. Shout
lot of
outs to
different
Marla.
things. It's so many men. You know, my boy Gray coming up with the she coming up more with the tantra. As far as kink, I really don't want to start naming because I'm gonna leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
I just love the
Cause
I just
there's
love the black
cause when
space
we
for men and women.
started, when I first met you, right, in 20, I want to say 2015. Yes, 2015 when I first met you and we had our initial conversation, and there wasn't a lot of us in this space, right? There wasn't a lot of black kinksters out here doing the work, doing sex work and things like that. And so now it's starting to we're,
Grow.
we're we're starting to grow. And so that's why I was like, yeah, like there's a few more,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we can go down the list,
Yeah.
of some popular people.
And you see, that's the thing is, and I'm gonna be honest with you, those are popular people, but it's
Mm,
been people in the mud for years.
Yeah, yeah.
right,
Black Kink is not new.
right,
No.
Those are the
no,
popular people. So I don't want to, get homage to the people that's more Instagram and stuff
Right,
that
right,
we
right,
right,
right.
witness.
right.
Because even before that, I think about reading Zane growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
Yes.
it always was kink and stuff. I remember hearing about the underground parties in Atlanta. Just
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
not to shout out to Atlanta, no disrespect, but I just remember hearing about a world and swinging life that was in the African American community way before social media. So I
Facts.
Yes.
think social media made it more consensual and open, and for people to be like, "Damn, I'm not the only one." I think it
Right.
provided some safe spaces for everybody to come together. But I think about how long Fet Life been out. Fet
Right.
Life
Yeah.
been out for so years,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and that was a platform. So, and then it had a little category for black. But
Yeah.
now, African Americans, black minorities took it and made it their own. So I
Yes.
think that the
Which we always do.
conversation, yeah, always, hey, come on. You know, I think that it's also just good that a lot of the people, that made it more normalized, but I don't think those are true pioneers.
Yeah,
Mm.
true. I have a question, a follow-up question on that, right now. So, in the black and kinky space here in Arizona,
Mm.
okay, um, do you have a hard time finding um people in that world who are open? Because I'm finding people, but they're not really open to talk about it because they have other, that's another life or another part of their lives that they don't want other people to know. Do you find people, or have you found some people that are more in the black and kiki space here in Arizona, or typically do you have to find people outside of Arizona to like refer people to, in terms of like their fetishes, their kinks, their desires?
To be honest, so right now I am the only African American ASEX certified sex therapist,
Mm-hmm.
in Arizona and in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
Wow.
gonna say, because what I do, I can't really say I know the kink community in Arizona. Um, maybe I'm low, maybe they just don't want to be found, but everybody I know is outside, and
Right.
I hear about it by chance. Nobody's like really coming to me like with any concerns
Mm-hmm.
or anything. And that's another thing. People think it's always got to be a problem for therapy, and
No.
it's not.
Right.
Because that's why I'm with, I let everybody know it's the excitement and education and exploration I'm in. If you want to come in and just explore, that's my wheelhouse. Come on, let's
Right.
do it. And even hitting bumps along the way. But I, to be honest with you, I really don't know anything too much about the kink community here.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm slowly but surely like discovering different communities. We discovered Apex, right? I don't know if you've heard of Apex. They're a BDSM organization. But when you go there, it's not a lot of people of color there. What's really exciting though is that when you do meet people of color there, they get excited, like, ooh, another black person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Um,
bet. Yeah.
but haven't really found like a kink space,
Right.
a BIPOC type kink space of our
Right.
own. I did find a lifestyle group, and but it's very diverse, which is fine. I mean, you're in Arizona. It's not like from in Detroit where that community caters more to people of color. It's more black people there. Here we're a small community. um I'm slowly but surely finding people, and what we do is we like to bring the experts on. We don't claim to know everything.
Right.
We're
Right.
about just exposing people and providing safe spaces,
Right.
to have that open dialogue about sex and sexuality for people of color. But yeah, I was finding it as difficult sometimes when you want to find people. Like, we're having a BDSM event,
Yes.
and we wanted to just find like a dom or somebody to come, a black dom or somebody to come and just talk about BDSM, and it is a struggle here. It's like we can't fly people in every time we have an event. So that's why I was asking you if you were.
That we know, they're all on the East Coast. They're in the South, so it's hard to find someone local here that is doing this work.
Yeah, so if you are in this community, reach out, especially if you want to connect with people and educate people. Definitely reach out to us so that we can all, connect with each other and help people of color realize that this is not white people shit. Excuse my expression. It's like you're normal, you're human,
Yes.
and it's okay to feel the desires, like you said, and explore how you feel, just because you don't see a lot of people that look like you.
Right.
We just
Yeah.
trying to make it more open for people.
But that can also speak to the point that people don't feel like they know enough to be an expert or to speak on it sometimes,
True.
or they just really getting identifying with themselves, or it's not accepted. So if you do find somebody in the community, I don't know, it's probably a small one, and it's
Yeah.
probably small in the street, and that's probably how they want to keep it. So
Yeah.
that's another thing, is to get people who want to educate and stuff about it. It's like pockets of people like that, but I'm pretty sure it's a couple of them here. They just don't know. They just practice in their home, and they just do it with their
Right.
partner. It's not something that they'll be like, hey, let me go and do this, or hey, let's go to this festival. And that's what keep it like that. Remember, sometimes it's the fantasy of it.
Right.
So sometimes when you see people, they're presenting as a different place, and this is their other life. And sometimes
Right.
they keep it
That's
their
what I'm
other
finding.
life and
Yeah.
don't want to bring it in the floor. So we can understand that. So
Yeah,
I would just
absolutely.
say if you have, if we have more events to learn how to be a dom, learn how to be a
Yes.
submissive, more
That's why we
education
did the
like that.
Melanated Sex Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how to just and be
Mm-hmm.
anonymous with it. But if you go to some of the events in Vegas, like y'all went to a couple of conferences, they there,
Yeah.
Yes.
they there. Until you
Yes.
ask them where you from, then they tell you like, oh,
Which we're going to Exotica. We're going to Erotica in December. So we will
yeah,
be seeing a bunch of them outside. We're
Yeah.
excited to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're excited because this will be our first time.
We're gonna try to see if we can sneak over to Sex Down
Yeah.
South in Atlanta because we'll be
Well,
there.
no, we're going to Erotica in December.
That's December. I
Yeah.
said, but we're gonna try to see if we can sneak into Sex Down South in September.
Right.
Because we'll be there for
And-
the Bedroom Candy Convention.
Right.
But I was just wondering, like,
Okay.
because if people talk to you about their different desires and stuff, if you have people to refer them to, like, if they wanted to explore more or learn, because sometimes you want to refer them to an expert or somebody to kind of guide them, especially when you're talking about BDSM, because a lot of people have misconceptions and misunderstanding about what BDSM is and they don't understand that consent is the key. That, and understanding boundaries and having all those different kind of, how do you approach that as a couple? Do you
yeah,
kind of give
yeah.
them an intro to that and then maybe refer them to people, or how does that work?
I guess one thing with me, I do the fundamentals and the foundation. BDSM is a level, and you have to have so many things intact to even get to the level.
Right.
So I work with couples with emotional regulation, communication, conflict management, intimacy, sex, and then that exploration.
Got it.
Right? We got to make sure you know how to talk, how to listen, how to
Right.
deal with the bumps in the road, how to do a lot of different things before we even get to that next level. So
Right.
usually, because BDSM is not my wheelhouse,
Got
I
it.
have a couple of people I give them first the education, because even if they go to the expert, some experts want to know, you have to know what you're coming from.
Right.
Few experts are willing to explore. You know, you have some experts that's willing to explore and do intro, but sometimes they still want to know, what do you know about it? So I always say, find out what you want to know, because you just want to make a more wise decision and an
Right.
investment. So I start off with the book. I start off with the free content. I say, follow this person, read this book. And then if you feel like it's something for you, then you reach out and invest and go into something, because it's more going to be a wise investment. And you feel like, hey, I just need this next level. So I think that's what I come in at, BDSM. As far as that, I refer out for BDSM and Kink. I get them ready for those kind of lifestyles.
Awesome.
I love
Good.
it.
Yeah. I like that first, there's so many other things to uncover first before you even go there. Exploration is like, that's the least of it. Let's focus on the other piece. And then the exploration will be that much better, right? Because you worked out all of those other issues. I want to follow up with you on the whole infidelity thing. How, like, because that's a breaking of trust, right? And that breaks up a lot of marriages, breaks up a lot of relationships. But a lot of times I had a coworker one time who told me that oh yeah, if my wife cheats on me, I'll never, you know what I'm saying? That's it. And I was like, come on now, you love this woman. You really, is it that simple? And then it happened. His wife actually cheated on him. And he was like, and I'm forgiving her and all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like everything that he said went out the window, because the love is there, right? So how do you like first approach that in a relationship when two people come to you and they're like, this person cheated on me? How do we manage that? How do we focus on that? Repairing it?
I think the first thing is to see what the objective is. Is it to learn about what to do? Is it to get information? Like, I give information if you decide to stay or leave. So
Okay.
it's hard to work on somebody who don't have space for me. If you're on your way out and your mind is destined to be on your way out, it's nothing I can do.
Right.
So what I also do is say, like, what are your objectives? You know, so before I start I start with the objectives, then I emotionally regulate them because betrayal is a trauma, and right now you're just working on emotion. So I have to get them emotionally regulated so they even can hear. When you hear different. So just getting them able to hear each other and see what they want to do. Do they want to just find out what happened? Do they want to move on, or do they want to get the information so they can break away and heal? So I think the first thing is just seeing what the objective is, why they're coming to me. I don't assume everybody want to stay together, and everybody shouldn't stay together, right? So that's the premise of that, and then from there you just build on. You know, we learn about it. The person who went outside the fair, we really have to see what did the fair do to them? What did the fair say to them about themselves, their partner, and a relationship?
Right.
Okay, so who did you become when you went outside to the fair? What did it touch? What did it feed you? How did it feed you? Because even though they stay in a relationship, it's hard to come back to something you wasn't never getting.
Right.
So really just seeing what that was so we can talk about it. So even the hurt partner who all stands to get all the attention because they the one who hurt, they had everything like that. But, you know, contrary to belief, that the person who went out sometimes is hurt, depending on the type of the relationship. So we just two hurt people, what we want to do about it.
Right.
The first thing we got to do is relax ourselves so we can listen. Okay, so I want to get an education to what happened and let the hurt partner decide if they want to stay. More consent. So it was just like getting more information, emotional regulation, to see where we're going and what do you need at this time. A lot of unpacking of emotions, a lot of being seen, a lot of being heard, a lot of what we're going to do now.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think sometimes when people come into like if they've been cheated on, sometimes they'll come to therapy with the expectation that the therapist is gonna jump on their side, right? And we gonna beat down the person like you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that. Even in therapy period, I remember my ex a long time ago, we went to couples therapy, and this has been my motto ever since then. We went through a pastor, and he had us fill out this form of a bunch of questions, like all the stuff, you know. We were in our early 20s, and all the stuff that got on my nerves, and he wrote all the stuff that got on his nerves and everything. And we was writing it like, yeah, pastor gonna get you. You know, that's what we're thinking, right? And so we read it all off to each other, and we both like, yeah, she do this and he do this, right? And the very first thing, and this is the thing that's been my motto, is he said, now ask yourself, if that person never changes any of that, could you still be with them? I was like, we done wrote all this stuff down thinking, you know what I'm saying? And that was the whole thing, is like,
that was the whole plot.
If that person never changed, could you be with them?
You thought
the
that
way they
he
are.
was gonna get him,
and he thought he was gonna get me.
Right. And so it defeated the purpose of going to the therapy session, because y'all both had the intention of poking at each other.
But it didn't defeat the purpose, because it made us focus inward, basically.
Right. But it was like, all y'all were trying to do was poke at each other.
Right. But
it was like a poke session.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get, he gonna get you, the pastor gonna get you.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes that's what happens when you initially go to therapy. When you're a spouse, is that you go in thinking that, oh, she's going to be on my side, or he's going to be on my side, right? And it's going to be a poke fest. And then when you put the mirror back on yourself, it's a reflection like, oh, shit.
Right.
Like, oh.
But the thing is, that what I learned from it is that, like, I'll be 50 this year. There's things about me that I can't stand, that I want to change. I've been trying to change for 40 years, right? So how can I expect my partner to just flip a switch? Well, he got to do this, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it really, like you said, it put the mirror back on me. So in your situations, how do you, because I know people are coming to you like that. Like when they come into you, they already thinking, you going to take my side, or so on and so forth. How do you, what is your approach to kind of back them down from that and get them out of that mindset?
I guess basically set the atmosphere of who I am and what I'm there for.
Okay.
You know, if they can pay me and fight in front of me, you know, that's easy money. Or do they want to pay me and get this smoke? Do they want to get this what they
you
need
gave
in
me
the
some
tool to
spoke.
understand?
The first time I have to tell this story, Queen. I have to, because she was actually the reason why I started Bedroom Candy in the first place. I had been a Bedroom Candy advocate for a few years, and we had our first initial phone call, and I got dragged in that phone call. I was dragging because I was in fear mode, right, of what people were going to think about me starting this business and being and doing what I wanted to do, because I was telling her my plan, and she was like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? I was like, huh? I was like, what you mean? She was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Kiki?
Mm-hmm.
Shit or get off the pot? Because you either going to keep on talking about it, or what you going. I'm like, oh, so so you dragging me? You dragging me?
It's just, well, like she said, shit or get off the pot.
Right, because it was literally a mirror up to my face, and so I was like, okay. I was like, this is basically like, okay, this is the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but through that conversation, it catapulted me to do what was necessary to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even know that you helped me to grow all of this, because again, I would have never had met Nisha through that conversation. I would have never had jumped and catapulted myself into the next level of my career. So thank you, Queen.
That's iron sharpening iron.
Right.
I love it.
Because
well, you know what?
tell people.
I want to thank you. And this is why everybody who's coming to me who do change, thank you for allowing that space in and releasing what no longer serves you. So one thing is, you can have all the tools. How many people blessed us and poured into us? But if we already full and we not draining something and releasing something we cannot hear. So I also want to say thank you for not wasting my damn time. Right? Because so many times, you know, people come and want to pick your brain, do like that. So thank you for not wanting to waste my time and having a space for that. And that's the whole thing is with all the people who come in, even the Kink, even what we saying, you have to have space for stuff.
Yes.
And people, even communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't own our partners just because stuff is our priority. It's not their priority. Just they sitting on the couch, we can't be in their ear just so they laying down. You got to say, hey, baby, do you have space for this?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, can you hold me down? Can you do this? And just like in therapy, I create a space, but everybody's not ready for that space.
Yes.
Right? So I ask my clients, and you talk about how I approach infidelity is I let them know it's a trauma. I let them know I'm non-judgmental. I let them know I'm not on anybody's side. I'm here to educate you. I let them know that I'm a trained couples therapist, and my energy goes to who need it at that point. If they want to have a one-off and they feel like I'm neglecting them, we can have a one-off. But it is a no secrets policy, and it's to uphold the couple and not their personal agenda. So it's just how you have to lay it down and let them know. I'm not for everybody. I'm not a therapist for everybody, and I had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I do a lot of not confrontations, but carefrontations. But I'm not for everybody. I'm not there to coddle you.
Yeah. Put that on a damn shirt.
Right. Carefrontations. I like that.
Put that on a shirt.
And that's so you know that's not mine. That was passed down to me. I can't say who quoted it, but I'm pretty sure somebody will find out.
Yeah.
So it was more like a carefrontation for me, and I just let them know this is what I'm here for. I'm not the enemy. You gonna say stuff that you know that your partner's not gonna like, and it's gonna be a look at yourself. I also say that the person you like the hurt partner, the person stayed in a relationship, I say you're not responsible for the affair, but you are responsible for your part in the relationship.
Right. Absolutely.
And see, that's seeing stuff around. You know, and I separate the affair from the relationship because so many people come in. It's not that the relationship caused me to do this or you did this or you weren't doing that. I'm like, no, Infidelity, going outside a relationship, is a selfish act. Can nobody push or drag you into another relationship or into anybody.
Right.
That's a consensual choice, and we just got to own up to it, and then we can heal. Accountability is the first step.
Awesome. I love it. Love it. That leads me to your pleasure agenda. I mean, man, you've got one for couples.
Yes.
You've got one for infidelity recovery, I saw. Yes. And then you have one for like individuals, right? Mm-hmm. So can you kind of talk about what the pleasure agenda is, what your purpose was behind it, and how that helps couples and going hand in hand also with your therapy?
So the pleasure agenda was created to assist my clients in between sessions.
Got it.
I have a couples edition, and that is to make sure. So the pleasure agenda said that we have everything going on. All my couples say that they're busy. I'm like, make sure pleasure is on the agenda. So that's why the pleasure agenda come in, and that's why the pleasure agenda is set up part calendar and part workbook, is because I take the calendar as a sit down, making sure you have 3 steps, making sure you have an intimacy goal, making sure you can schedule sex, making sure what do you want to explore. And then on the back, it's all kind of tips and tools to assist you if you run into a hard place. The infidelity recovery is a workbook and a planner also. It is going to assist you put pleasure back in the agenda, because just sometimes we choose to stay don't mean we are going to have intimacy, let alone sex. So it's kind of moving the conversation and everything like that. The individual is just getting you ready for whatever. So both of them are, because we always say we busy. Everybody's stressed and busy. I'm trying to take out that narrative, and, you know, just like we're productive, like, how are you getting pleasure? And, you know, we talk about pleasure, but pleasure is just not sex. It's anything that gives you enjoyment and arousal. So I always say pleasure in and out the bedroom. So people think, oh, you're just talking about sex. I'm like, you can take a walk and get pleasure. I got pleasure yesterday in Home Goods. It was exciting. Me, TJ Maxx, give me pleasure. Right?
I love it.
Give me pleasure. Eating a good meal give me pleasure.
Which we still got to do. You know. We still got to go to brunch. We got to go to Sugar Jams. Get some of them grits. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. I love it.
Can you talk about scheduling sex? Cause I'm single and I'm like, what
Sex with yourself, baby.
I'm not scheduling no time.
Masturbation. What do you have? She's got a sticker that says masturbation, meditation, and manifestation, and I love it.
Yeah, I do all of those things, but I'm not scheduled. I'm not putting it in the calendar. But like, okay, I'm gonna play with my cat,
and that's okay. And that's okay that you feel like that. I was just see how it works for you. When you get even alone or with a partner, you have to remember our brain is made up for survival.
Right.
Sex, your body can survive without sex. It can't survive without intimacy. When you getting so stressed, the first thing that fall off is pleasure. That's why self-care is a big deal, right? You schedule self-care. Why can't you schedule sex? A lot of my couples want to have sex, but they want to have it at night. And that's when they're more stressed and tired. So I would like saying schedule in, and just like with anything, you look excited. Like people got Beyonce tickets, and she ain't even hit the floor yet, right? Why? But are they not excited about it?
Right.
Does it not give them arousal? So just think about it. If you plan it like, baby, this weekend is on and popping. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It doesn't take away. It enhances. Right? But if you don't want to schedule fires with a couple, it's probably because it's the routine. It's the same old shit. That's why, even more, why we need to sit down and talk about our sex life outside of the bedroom. So inside the bedroom won't be anything that was going to dampen that mood. So I say schedule sex. Even if you don't like to, just try it out and see how it is. And just like for any single people, I'm just like putting it on your agenda. Right? Today I'm going to wash the clothes, do this, do this. I'm going to take a shower, wax, and then masturbate. Why not? Because you're supposed to be masturbating, 2 to 3 times a week for healthy sexual care, health care.
Hello.
Right? So sometimes it'll help. And then if you gotta, if you think about it, if I stay ready, I don't have to get ready.
Hello.
So think about it like,
I love that.
I masturbate, you feel better. You know,
Right.
you're not hitting anything. I'm already doing this. So I say
You
scheduling
sleep
stuff
better.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
self-maintenance, schedule it in. Try it out. Everybody say, I don't know. Try it out and see how it goes. If you don't like it, don't do it. But that
Yeah.
means that you already do it. It's for people who it kind of go to the wayside. If you
Yeah.
got a routine and it's working for you, and if the couple got a routine, it's not working. If it's working for you, but if not, try it out.
Okay. See, you heard that. You heard that from the good doctor, right?
Yeah.
Schedule your
Pleasure time. Your pleasure
time.
period. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside and outside of the bedroom.
Yes.
I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely that. I think the agenda is amazing too, because it sometimes you need something before y'all to even force those conversations. Like if you've got that agenda, it's like, oh, we got something that kind of guides us on what to do. So
Right.
I'm excited to try that with my husband. I had a question and I lost it. Oh, so do you find that people, when in the exploration part, that more and more people of color are coming to you to explore ethical non-monogamy?
No. I
Okay.
think that they're not coming to explore that. They're using it as might as well.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So people come in, infidelity, you like, we might as well open up. And I had people who come to me when it go left. We had an open relationship and this what happened. Nobody willing to explore that. So any case how they come to me, my first thing is, why do you want to do it? Look in the narrative that's around it and give them the education.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people do it just like people want a threesome. People want orgies. People want a lot of different stuff. People want to swing, but it's the idea that they like. When they get into it, they may not really like it. So it's about education. So I was like sometimes they come in, like exploration with some of my couples now is just getting out a missionary. Or
Right.
inviting us, or getting a toy in, or exploring more ways of talking about attraction and everything. They talk about it like people say, what about that? But a lot of time they're exploring, they don't want nobody else in there yet. So they kind of getting their foundation out. So usually my couples who want to talk about it is because of a betrayal happened and they trying to save their relationship.
And they feel like that's the alternative. So it's not really that they desire that, because you do have some people that that's just how they feel. That's how they are. They want open relationships. That's just in their nature.
Right.
But in your instance, you run into a lot of people that are doing it because they feel like to please their partner, or like you said, to save the relationship.
Yeah. Sometimes you do come through, and like with anything, I say the education behind it. Why do you want to do it? See what the root of it is, and what's the intent. Remember, the intent is going to create the drive. And if the intent is not good and whole and healthy, it's going to go left quick.
Right. I agree with you that too, that people get into that and explore it, and they don't focus on what's important with them, what their values are, because it's about values too. You know what I'm saying? Establishing values in your life, your relationship, all of that. And so, and like you said, if they're doing it for the wrong reasons, then they come to you like, Renelle, fix my life.
Right.
Yeah, the honesty and transparency.
Yeah.
Is not there. Some of the key factors that's used for any, consensual non-monogamy lifestyle isn't there. So really just giving them the insight, and then it's a lot of times where a partner wants it and the other partner doesn't.
Right.
So that's another thing that you open up to talk about. That's why I say I'm always establish good relationships, because again, that is not my wheelhouse. So what I do is set up with coaches, and I'm like, hey, I know somebody in this field. They do coaching. Why don't you set up an intro session with them so they can tell you all what it entails, and you make your choice from there. And sometimes it works out good, and sometimes they end up working with them. But it's something for everybody. I'm just glad to give them a referral because I want them to get them. My whole perspective is not to do any harm.
Right.
So keeping them with me is to do more harm. So I don't want to do harm. So I
Right.
would just respond back and give them somebody who can tell them exactly what the lifestyle and hell. I know some of the basics, but nothing like somebody in that lifestyle
Got you. Got you.
to talk to.
But again, that comes to you giving them the education, being open and non-judgmental, and just really getting to the root cause, right? Of why do you want to do this? And then in the exploration part, after they've gone through everything else, the education, the emotional, all of that, then referring them to someone who is more the expert when it comes to
Yep,
consensual
I'm tagging off. I'm tagging off.
Got you. Got you. So I wanted to share this thing real quick. We just had a session on pleasure mapping.
Yeah.
Because April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I love that you talked about like trauma. When it comes to pleasure mapping, is mainly just understanding, because we all have different types of trauma. It might not even just be molestation.
Right.
Like, even if people are interested in BDSM and some people are not. Like, we got spankings when we were kids. Like, I don't like I don't want somebody to hit me with a paddle because it reminds me my pledging time. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like a lot of different traumas. So how do you speak to like the whole, to me that it goes into the exploration, pleasure mapping, like with your partner and having those conversations about their traumas, like why you don't like me to touch you here, or why what's going on here, and having those. How do you help couples to, or even individuals to even do their own pleasure mapping and really get to know their likes and dislikes so that they can have a more open, honest relationship with the partner?
So I think just open up space for them and get them consent that they deserve it. Again, I'm just telling you the foundation. All this stuff sound good and slick. Oh, do this and do that. But if you don't feel like you're deserving, and if you don't feel like you're not going to do it, if you do it, you're just going to be doing it.
Right.
So my whole thing is that you deserve to understand your pleasure map. You deserve to understand your body and your partner body, and for them to embrace that. Because people do anything by force. And I don't want that to happen. And then if they don't feel like they deserve it, I want to work on the barrier.
Right.
If you see what I'm doing, it's just like I have to get in your head for you to even, I say heal so you can feel. So even though you can do that stuff, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel the change. I'm very somatic now, into the body. How does it feel? Because your partner can say, I got hurt right there. If you're not listening and you're not in tune and they have the intent to want to create a space, you're not going to do it. So the first thing is to do is make sure that I deserve this rights and privilege. I'm honoring my partner's existence. I'm honoring my own existence. Then we can come on with some of those tools. So with pleasure mapping, it's a lot of different mapping. I do body mapping, what brings you pleasure, and then pleasure mapping can be also to the point. The other thing is to have a lot of conversations in a safe environment that I feel safe to even discuss those things with that. And sometimes it's not without clothes laying down. Sometimes you're just sitting in the car or in a cuddle position or in a safety position to talk about this. Hey, what are you healing from? Hey, who hurt you? Hey, is anything you want me to know about any trauma? Sometimes you got to give them a safe space to even talk about that.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
that is one piece to it. So I set up the environment I set up the body to have these conversations and the environment to create these safe spaces. And then we can kind of have those conversations.
Yeah, thank you. Because my husband and I, we started having those conversations because we realized like there's, especially when it comes to men, a lot of their partners never really ask those questions or find out what feels good to them. Typically, women will just go straight to the dick. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm just focusing on this part. I don't want to see do you feel a certain way around behind your neck or this or that? Or we had my husband was on the podcast and he talked about just even like with oral, like just the trauma of, you know, women constantly telling him, don't come in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And so because of that, there's a block where like, you know, even during orals, but it's like having those conversations. And even last night we talked about like, you know, do you feel like, you know, you have some trauma around sex? And we were just sitting on the couch. We weren't naked. We weren't anything. We just had that open dialogue. And it really helps me to understand where they're coming from. And then sharing like, well, I don't like this because when I was a child, this happened, or, you know, whatever personal has happened in my life. And to me, I think that brings a lot more intimacy. And you know what I'm saying? And more like you feel closer to that person. It's not always just the physical. Right. The communication is so key in that. So I'm thankful that, you know, we did take that pleasure mapping.
Oh yeah, shout out to Kesha,
class.
man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Our director of training, she talked about an amazing workshop about pleasure mapping and how it links to your traumas and triggers and things like that. So it was a great session. The replay is actually on Bedroom Candy's Instagram page. So if you want to go and check that out, for anybody who is watching and want to learn more about pleasure mapping and things of that nature, go to Bedroom Candy's Instagram page and check that live out because it's on their Instagram. It was a great session. Oh my goodness.
And I also believe getting your reaching out to Renelle.
Yes.
If you need assistance. Also getting the pleasure agendas. I really think that will open up a lot of dialogue. Sometimes just having a book will force like those conversations where you feel like it's awkward. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do I approach this with my partner? But if you got, oh, look at this book. Let's kind of, you know, and then let those conversations kind of happen organically with the book. I think that would be very helpful as well. So thank you for creating that for people to be really have like a point of, you know, origin, somewhere to start. But then at the same time, I remember I'm quoting this one therapist who said that therapy is the new Black excellence. And I've been saying that for the past year or two since she said that, because a lot of times when it comes to people of color, we don't get therapy. I remember I was dating a guy, we were living together, and he didn't know why he was unhappy. He just kept crying, and I was like, well, you want to get therapy? And he was like, niggas don't get therapy. And I'm like, but what I'm saying is that he felt in his mind, because he was a hard, you know, I'm this hard person, that especially Black men, it's like they're not supposed to be vulnerable and open up and talk to people. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So it is nothing wrong with getting help or seeking help outside of your relationship and find
right there. And seeking help outside. I am a therapist. I don't push therapy. What I do is push the point that you deserve happiness anywhere you get it. So especially with all kind of the Black males, got mad love, we just having space for them. And I let women also know that, because sisters can be a little bit too hard, and they can throw this healing and self-care and this therapy around like it's nothing. And it's language for us. It's not language for everybody. Okay. And if we there, they don't have the spaces that we do. It's not easy to find somebody comfortable. They too have triggers. They too have trauma. So I would just say, for anybody who like with therapy, I'm like, you know what? Find you a safe place. Find you a safe place. If it's a book, you know, I'm so happy to see so many minority and BIPOC faces like this with podcasts. I recommend podcasts to a lot of my men and women who not ready for stuff. I recommend coaching. I recommend coaching. I recommend seminars. I recommend anything. You have to know your man, right?
Yes.
So I even recommend some songs are now talking about it. So it's just not like one size fits all. And so many times therapy is demonized. So you need therapy. You should go to therapy. Like with anything, you start an argument. I would say benefit. What do you think about this? Explore this. But I also like to say other ways that they can get that, because therapy itself is stigmatized. I know it's getting a lot of legs right now, but it's still a stigma.
Yeah.
So we have to just understand that and just push whatever you need. And you want to read a book, listen to audio, just different ways, because adults learn in all different ways. So just adjust to that and let them get somewhere that they can feel like they win it, and it's not forced on them. Because again, how many times stuff was forced on us? That's a trauma, right? So we don't want to create another trauma.
True that. Yeah.
I love it.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, because that is true, especially as Black women. Like like you said, it's easy for us, and I think environment, it makes it easy for us to get the self-care, but sometimes for Black men, it's so stigmatized. Yep. And so they, feel like they don't have it. And then, like you said, we get hard on them, like, well, what's wrong with you? Why you can't get therapy or this or that? So I love you sharing, find another way in that maybe could ultimately lead to therapy, but that might not be the first thing or
the barbershop talk. Look at the barbershop talk. Barbers have been doing this for years.
Yeah.
But now, some of the barbers are going to get trained, and sometimes the therapists are just popping up in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Right? We see that a lot of that barbershop talk. Beauty. Man, come on.
That's where we went. Wow. That's what we did.
So think about other ways to do that. And we know it's going to be naysayers. We know that's a good old boy. We can all be locker room. But sometimes it's an OG or old head or educated person that you hear a lot of opinions, and you take what you please and release what you don't. So those are the things I'm like, who's your OG? Who's your mentor? Who do you turn to? So I would say we're working with any kind of person resistance or they're not ready for it. Just tap into the other benefits and energy that they can involve themselves into to create some change.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, before we have you share everything, we have a little section. It's called the spicy bag.
Yes, so my favorite.
Kiki's going to talk about a couple of things from a couple of products. And, feel free to chime in, Renelle, because we appreciate your expertise.
Yes.
So what's in the spicy bag today?
So the spicy bag this week, three things. So in Bedroom Candy, we have some incredible bath and body products, and two of which I personally use. One is called the Balance Bar, and the other one is the Pure Bar. So the Pure Bar is a charcoal bar. It is good for all over the body, the face, all that kind of good stuff, and it's made with organic charcoal and all these good ingredients in there, and it's really, really good for the face, clearing up acne. So if you have any kind of acne or anything like that, highly recommend the Pure Bar. Now the Balance Bar is for your yoni care. And it has apple cider vinegar in it. It has I lost my train of thought. It has some really, really good oils and things like that, but the main ingredient is the apple cider vinegar for the Balance Bar, and that is for your yoni care. We love those.
Yeah, I want to chime in on that too. I have some friends who my girlfriend would call it the coochie soap. You got some more of that coochie soap? I need to order it. But she is very sensitive. Like she can't use even products that are designed for sensitive skin.
Yes.
But she can utilize the Bedroom Candy products. These two soaps were designed by Angela Solomon, who is a chemist.
Yes.
She's a Black woman, and she's also a Bedroom Candy consultant.
Yes.
So one of the things that I love about Candy is that it's not about reinventing the wheel, and it's also about giving people opportunities. And so she partnered with her and then rebranded the product, and So when you purchase the
balance or
the balance
pure,
bar
or
or the pure
fresh,
bar or the fresh, which is also,
our
that's a
feminine
pump,
wash,
and that's a
our
feminine wash. It you are supporting a Black woman business, so that's amazing.
Period. All going good circles.
Yeah, but
here.
people think that we are all, I mean, like our toy line is like 30%.
Yes.
Again, you know how we talked about, Renelle, like self-care.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say around like just the bath and just
and you use some of our stuff, Dr. Renelle. What do you find is your favorite product from the Bath and Body from Bedroom Candy?
I like anything to lose.
Yeah.
The lube. I think I had some toy cleaners.
Yeah, the toys.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
I have to try the soaps. I haven't tried the soap.
Yeah,
I'm old school Bedroom Candy.
Yeah.
So I got the toy. So the new line stuff, I just ordered like the wedge and stuff like that. I seen something else. Yeah,
that wedge
so
is amazing.
Other say something. Yeah, I'm old school. Like I got the toy.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm getting more into the other lines. So I know they're good. So one thing when you talk to self-care to me, this is my Renelle E. Nelson's perspective. I don't believe in self-care, right? I don't believe in self-care. I believe in self-maintenance. Self-care to me is something you do when you deplete it.
Right. I love it.
You self-care day. It's something you do when you deplete it. You care for yourself. I like baths, masturbate for maintenance. So I take it as self-care maintenance. Because anything, you got to maintain it. Sometimes we don't feel we have to get depleted to care for ourselves. Right. Sometimes I don't want it to just be like, oh, I need to care. No, this is part like you brush your teeth, like you wash your face. Like this is maintenance. Right. This is daily thing. I don't have to wait to get a facial. I don't have to wait to get my hair done or my nails. That's maintenance. Right. So I like to maintain. I love self-care.
I love it.
It's too, but I like the maintenance. So I'm moving more of my clients and who I'm talking to more in the maintenance because, again, let's maintain ourselves so we don't need that care all the time.
And we're not depleting. We're not feeling depleted.
No, and that's just like that. Everybody had a different, their different definitions. So words matter. How you use them, what matter. I'm very in a narrative. And when we talk about care, I deserve this. No, you deserve this shit every day. Right. You don't have to have a special occasion for a vacation. You don't have to say, to do like this, to take care of that, to wax. That's just maintenance. It's really self-care maintenance.
Shout out to that. Yeah, thank you, Renelle.
Come on, self.
Love it.
Well, another self-maintenance tool in the arsenal of Bedroom Candy is your favorite toy that you love so much. And I pulled it out because as we get older in life and we are seasoned, we need a little bit more help in the stretch. You know what I'm saying? And again, shout outs to Kesha Johnson, our director of training. She is a beast at these, and it's called the Play With Me straps.
My favorite.
Yes. I mean, if you've ever gone on Kesha's Instagram, you're gonna see these straps. They look like this, y'all. And so the feet or the legs go in here, right? And then this velvety soft can either go around the neck, can go around the throat, can go around the stomach.
Waist. Yeah.
And you can go to Pound Town.
Yeah.
Without
I saw that.
Yeah.
Who was demonstrating that?
That was Kesha.
But what's her Instagram name?
So if you go to AU_natural38,
That's it. So
if you go,
I saw her. I'm like, oh, I need to add that to the
cart.
List. I think that
is it still sold out?
It's still sold out.
It's still sold out, but Kiki will let you know when it's back. I would tell people to put it on your wish list, and if you want it, bring it to us. I'm going to tell you what I love about it. Kasha took it to another level because I'm realizing as I'm getting older, I want to do a lot more stretching. Yes. Like when you get up in the morning, like when we get up in the morning, first thing we do is we grab our phone, right? what we really need to do is drink some water and stretch. That's the first thing we need to be doing, right? So, and I'm noticing like when I stretch, it makes a difference in my whole day. But still at the same time, I don't have the same balance that I had when I was younger. So, it just aids in supporting you. So even in sex, you know, I can't put my legs all the way back like I used to when I was like 20 years old, right?
Back paper clip shape,
right. And so, but what I love about the Play With Me straps is you have control. The straps, you can pull them to the as far back as you need to go. Of course, we'll have to put the link to the video because it just doesn't do justice talking about it. But you can pull them
that video was it. But I have a quick question for you. Is Bedroom Candy, that's not her first strap thing like that, is it?
No, so she has these straps, and then she has the bed to fit straps where you can be tied up.
Fit to be tied. Those are the ones that go under the mattress and you can tie yourself up. This is more for flexibility and sex positions.
And then there is the swing. So there's 3 different ones, but these are more adjustable. They basically fit to you, and you see
how wide it is. Those will fit nice. You know, that's a nice size for like any, you know, for us thunder thighs. You know what I'm saying? For us with a little extra thigh meat.
This has no weight capacity also. So
that's what I love about it too.
If you're a plus size girl or gal, this will be your best bet. Right now on the website, they are sold out because I tell you, Kesha, when she puts out a video using these straps, they get sold out. I'm like, I'm like, Kesha, just stop.
But I love it. I wanted to add in it too, but it's great for also maximum G-spot. Like to get to the orgasm, get you in the proper positioning. It also is hands-free. So now your partner, instead of having to hold your legs up, that the straps are holding you, and then their hands can go and explore other places in your body. So that's why I absolutely love it. And they're very soft. They're designed, they're very soft, so it can go on your naked body, on your naked skin, and you don't feel the friction. The other thing that I love about it is that you have more control because they're easy to snap out of. So if it becomes uncomfortable for you, you just
like that
unsnap it. Whereas I've seen a lot of sex position straps where it has a belt buckle and you got to unbuckle it. I mean, if you're uncomfortable, you need to get out right away. So it's like a really quick.
You got to get out.
Right. What I love too is it also helps with fatigue. So you know what I'm saying. You know how sometimes your legs get tired and you right to the brink of the orgasm. You like, oh, stop, or let cramp, whatever. It'll hold that position for you so that you can reach that orgasm and you don't have to worry about.
Adjusted it so you can see like how the legs can be adjusted. So you can adjust them to your comfort level. So this is all about your comfort and your partner's comfort. So these straps are absolutely amazing. And the price point, we forget all the time about price point. The price point for these straps are $55. Right? So it's a steal.
It's a great addition for the bedroom. And now I'm learning from Kesha, she showed it's good for even doing like stretching exercises. So you don't necessarily have to only use it for sex. You can use it for stretching as you're getting, you know what I'm saying? So that you can give yourself more flexibility when that partner does come into the bedroom with you. So
and it's travel friendly.
Yes,
it is very travel friendly.
And all of, and if you notice our toys, a lot of times they come with the satin bags. So very TSA friendly too. You can throw that.
TSA is not gonna clock you, family. When you going through, checkout and everything like that, you just put it right in this little thing right here.
Yeah. And, anything you want to add, Mr. Renelle?
Just thank you again for having this space and bringing a lot of information and education on. because I think it's much needed. So congratulations to you both. I went to the
Oh my
expo. I
goodness.
love it. I loved it, and many more wishes. And I love how the growth is going. So I'm super excited for you both and the brand and just individual growth. So I'm so
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you.
Yes.
And hopefully we can we believe in collaboration and all
Yes.
different types of things. So hopefully we can come back together again and
Yes.
do some things.
Hopefully she can be a part of the expo
Oh,
for next
absolutely,
year.
absolutely. That's
I'm
the
praying
plan.
for that. I'm not playing. I'm trying to get her to come, y'all, cause she came. She was trying to be slick, right? She came in there during Sir's performance, right? And she just snuck on in, and then she gave me a hug, and then she popped right out. I said, "Friend, how you just gonna?" Okay, friend. But no, she's definitely gonna be a part of the expo for next year. I'm trying to
Get
wiggle.
everybody else in. When you're the only, like not the only, but I want to give everybody else space to shine and be
Yes.
different. So the next one, more like that. But I love, y'all did even without me, it was amazing. So
Oh,
again,
Thank
shout
you,
out to
thank
y'all.
you, thank you, thank you. So, um, Miss Renelle, please
Yes.
let everybody know where they can find you. Of course, we're gonna put all your information in the show notes and everything, but just let everybody know, like your social media, your links. How can people find Renelle E. Nelson to get
Yes.
all the good information that you have shared with us and more?
Yeah. So for therapy is I'm Kaleidoscope Services LLC.org. For coaching, because I am a certified sex coach and infidelity recovery coach. That'll just be my RenelleENelson.com. Instagram, I'm Noir Sex Therapist, no E in sex. And then for anybody healing from betrayal, I have at Affair Aftercare.
All right.
Mm.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing
Yes.
your knowledge.
Yes.
And this will not be the last time
No.
that we will connect. It's been such a pleasure. I think she speaks very highly of you, and I totally understand why. And I really just thank you for sharing with us and joining on our podcast. And anything else you want to share before we sign out?
Make sure you put pleasure on your agenda.
Oh, come on.
Hello. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So you have just watched Sex, Love, and the Black Experience
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
And don't be a stranger. Tune in. Make sure you subscribe. Also follow us at OMG Goddesses 20 on our IG and our Facebook.
Yes.
And our website is omgoddesses.com, because we provide sexy fun events throughout the Arizona area. And so you want to know what we've got coming up? Definitely follow us.
Yes.
And thank you guys, and have a wonderful, sexy day. Thank you so much.
Yes, Queen.
I'm glad we were able to make it easy for you. I know so you wouldn't have to drive far, but still, I know this was our second time getting together, and we didn't want to miss the opportunity of having you on the show. So thank you so much.
Thank you both for having me, and congratulations again. And I look forward to following you both, and I'm always going to be here for you. So just reach out, and I'll be there for you to support you or assist you along the way. But thank you again, and I hope y'all enjoy y'all Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Want to keep in touch with us and what we have going on? Visit our website at omgoddesses.com and join our VIP list. Check out our upcoming events. Need to add to your spicy bag? Well, click on Shop Bedroom Candy for the top of the line bath and body products, makeup, and bedroom accessories. Consider booking us for a fun, sexy, and educational show with your circle. We won't disappoint. Thank you for watching Sex, Love, and the Black Experience podcast. Please continue to tune in and keep watching. And follow us at omgoddesses.com, join our VIP list, or Facebook and IG at omgoddesses20 and Twitter at omgoddesses.
Fumble a bag, now I when I fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I when I fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.